Okay. Welcome everyone to our Wellness Wednesday. My name is Melanie. I apologize for the technical difficulties. This is Danny's Zoom. Well, this is not Danny's Zoom. Typically, we have our class Wellness Wednesdays on Danny's Zoom. However, she is currently at Founders Retreat in Utah, and the internet is bad, so we were not able to get her in time. So if you missed us today, we apologize. We obviously have the recording for you, but we are going to talk about stress, which is quite appropriate under the circumstances. So my name again is Melanie Griffer. I am a premier with doTERRA, and I've been doing this now for about 4 years. And it has been life changing for me and my family. But today we're just going to talk about stress. So I'm going to go ahead as I try to take a deep breath, and I've already rubbed on the adaptive. We are going to talk about stress today. So I'm going to share my screen with you because we are talking about some of these 5-minute tricks we can get from each other. All right. Do you see my screen, Amy?
You
Yes.
see the whole
Yes.
see the whole Canva?
Do you see my notes?
Mm, no, not
Okay,
yet.
good. Okay,
Okay.
good. I don't want you to see my notes. That's
Okay.
cool.
So we just see the Canva and then the 5 minute to calm.
Very good. That's
Yeah.
all you need to see. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Awesome.
All right. So we want to welcome everyone. We know stress is such a big part of our lives. Unfortunately, we can't get away from it as much as we may want to. So we thought it was important to share just some quick tips that can give us some stress relief. And we're focusing on just 5 minutes and how we can do that. So I'm excited to have you with me and to share this information so we can find some effective ways to manage our stress this year. Okay. So, how stress affects us. Have you ever thought about what damage it may do to your body? I think back in the day, we used to think stress was no big deal, but now we have more and more studies that tell us it really is. So, in our busy lives, we stress and it can build up very quickly. It can affect our health and definitely affect our happiness. So, today we're just going to talk about some simple, practical tips that we can just take a few minutes with to sort of release some of the stress, and that can help us physically to make a big difference. Of course, we are going to explore some of our doTERRA essential oils and supplements that might fit into your stress relief strategy. So, just a couple things to be aware of. Stress can affect us with health disorders, our emotions. We can get emotionally exhausted. It can affect your sleep. Also, we can be overwhelmed with sadness, and then definitely stress can affect our relationships. So we know it can have a big impact. So, how can we fix it? One thing to note that regardless of what age, I think sometimes we feel like it only affects adults. This is a study that was put out by the, I can't read it, it's too small, American Psychological Association, but it talks about stress and it even shows by range. So with women ages 18 to 34, 62% of them have felt stressed and completely overwhelmed. And that's pretty drastic to say completely overwhelmed, but that's a large percentage. So, stress is really a good thing. It was a natural part of our body. It does activate our emergency response system. So, hormones are released to increase your breathing, your heart rate, and your blood pressure. The problem is if the stressor passes, that's great. But if your body doesn't return to normal, it can affect your health. So it says when a stressor remains, it can leave you chronically anxious or tense, like a motor that stays revved up. So we can think about a car motor. If you constantly revved it up, pushing the gas, that after a while, that certainly is going to cause damage to the motor of your car. So the same thing proves true with our bodies. So, what are the benefits if we are able to relieve some of this stress? Well, first, you might notice better sleep. How important is that? It's going to help your mental focus. So, did you realize that stress can impact your focus, your ability to be able to stay on task? Of course, we know it's going to help our mood, it's going to make us happier. Um, Digestive issues, did you know that those can be related? If you're having it can help reduce your digestive issues, also your anxious feelings. It can help improve our self esteem, which I know I could use a boost of that, along with improving our relationships. It can help us better make decisions. It can help us gain better control over our weight. And then also strengthen your immune system, all by regulating or finding ways to find some stress relief. Okay, so Let's talk about quick stress relief techniques that you can do in just 5 minutes, regardless of where you may be. So, one effective method is deep breathing. Let's all take one of those. We can inhale deeply for a count of 4 and then hold it for 4 seconds and then exhale slowly also for 4 seconds. And this is just a simple practice, but it can help to lower your heart rate and it can also help to calm your mind. Just give you a minute to get it together. One of the quickest and most reliable ways to stamp out stress is to gauge in one or more of our senses. So our sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, or through movement, if you engage one of those. And we'll talk about a little technique a little bit later. Since everyone is different, you are going to need to figure out what's going to work for you. So don't feel bad about experimenting. Don't feel bad if something you try works for you, but may not work for a friend. This really is something that you can sort of customize for you. So we have different things listed here because we're trying to think again about just 5 minutes. So deep breathing can be good. If you can talk to a friend that you trust for 5 minutes, that can be a good way to get relief. Again, engaging your senses. What's around me? Am I safe? Do I feel good? I'm listening to music. Maybe you have a favorite song that you enjoy that calms you. You can say a quick prayer if you're a spiritual person. A quick walk around the block might really bring you some relief. And then if you have a pet, there's always time for a quick 5 minute play break with your pet. Somehow they manage not to stress and they are very well taken care of. So we can imitate that as well. So some nice pictures for us to think about what could I do in my routine that will help me with my stress relief. So then we can think about our doTERRA products. What products that does doTERRA offer that might be beneficial for your stress management? So let's look at a couple here. We know doTERRA's essential oils are CPTG, which stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade. These oils are extracted from living plants. So that is definitely a benefit over herbs. Remember, herbs come from dead plants. When we extract our oils, it comes from living plants. And therefore, you get the benefits of a living plant. These oils will enhance your stress relief efforts and help to bring you calming benefits. So today we're going to focus on just a few. In the pretty basket there with the flowers, we have our Balance oil. So Balance, if you haven't smelled it before, Balance is a grounding blend. Also think about earthy trees. And of course, we are thinking about our olfactory system. So basically smelling, aroma. We are able to enjoy all of these essential oils aromatically. So it could be in your diffuser. It could be also hand diffusing. If you haven't done that before, it's super simple. You take a drop of the oil, rub your hands together. You want to close your eyes, close your mouth, and then take a deep breath. So like this. All right, that is hand diffusing, which is great in the car, on the go, at the if you're at a meeting. Once you smell something, it only takes 22 seconds for you to reap the benefits. Okay, so think about that. Our bodies are wonderfully made. So an oil can tell our brain to relax, and then our body is going to do whatever our brain tells it. So Balance essential oil, known again for that grounding blend, and that can help us with our emotional balance. If you didn't know, our body reacts to good news the same way it reacts to bad news neurologically. So even sometimes when you have great news, it can still stress your body out. So you just need to be mindful of that. But again, Balance is going to help you to find just that, the emotional balance. When you are stressed and tension is high, this might be a great time for you to use one of these other 3 oils like Adaptive. So Adaptive is a calming blend. It's pictured there in the middle. And it has specific essential oils, including lavender, neroli, wild orange, and it's designed to provide an aromatic experience that can help uplift and calm your emotions. So you want to keep Adaptive on hand as you prepare for just everyday life, or if you have bigger moments coming in your life that you may feel are stressful. For me personally, I keep it beside my bed. I'm an anxious sleeper. So I use it any day that ends with the letter Y. So every day, basically, Adaptive is my friend. There's so many of us that literally have to function with these oils. And so another good one to use is lavender, which is the first one pictured, and also frankincense. So these oils have many benefits beyond supporting our stress and our mental health, but that's just what we're highlighting today. So lavender, adaptive, and frankincense have many properties, but we're just thinking about the stress relieving ones today. So lavender has this soothing aroma. If you have never smelled pure lavender, and you may just be used to what you can get in your body lotions or maybe your soap or maybe even a cleaning product, you really need to try doTERRA's lavender. Of course, we harvest our oils where they naturally grow. So this one, we harvest lavender from the south of France and Bulgaria, I believe. So you're getting the purest lavender, and the aroma is so much better than the imitation. But it's going to promote relaxation. Also, it's going to help you to sleep. I mean, you can diffuse it. You can even hand diffuse, rub some on the bottom of your feet, and that could be applied for any of these oils. Of course, adaptive, one of my personal favorites. It does have a bright citrusy aroma to it. It does have some hint of floral, but it's not floral. So don't think rose, don't think gardenia. It's more like a citrus. Maybe it does have gardenia. Does it have gardenia? Anyway, it's a nice oil. No gardenia, thank you, Amy. But it helps to create a tranquil environment. It's also soothe and relax you, and makes you happy when you diffuse it as well. We also have frankincense. So frank is the king of oils, many beneficial properties to it. But again, just thinking about the stress relief, um, frankincense can help to also with the comforting and uplifting aroma. It can help to calm and relax the body and the mind. We actually do know customers who have been able to use frankincense when they suffer from seasonal blues, like this time of year when it gets dark at 5:30. That is hard for a lot of us, and they've been able to use frankincense to actually replace some of their medication. So something to consider if you were looking for a natural alternative. Next, we have lifestyle changes. So lifestyle changes also help to reduce our stress. And these can make significant changes when you do simple things like staying hydrated, eating balanced meals, exercising regularly, and ensuring that you're sleeping well. So there is a difference between sleeping and sleeping well. We want a good quality sleep, and that can also help with you make a difference. And all of these small things like staying hydrated, eating good meals, sleeping well add up to make big changes. So
Amy,
don't.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
sorry. I know
Oh,
you
go ahead.
can't see. You have somebody in the waiting room.
Oh, thank you. Hold on one sec. Let me see how I get to them. Okay. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Okay, here we go. I'll see if I can keep that on the screen. I don't know, it does what it wants. Um, all right, so lifestyle changes. There is a note here by the National Institute of Health, and it's quoted, but they suggest that you also take breaks from work. So if work is stressing you out, take a break, and make it a reasonable amount of time. It also helps when we spend time with our family and friends that we enjoy. They said to learn to make things with your hands. So if you enjoy crocheting, maybe it's even want a stress ball or some Play-Doh. I mean, I know we're not necessarily kids, but those things are beneficial for us as well. It also said learning to play an instrument. Those are things that can also help in ways to reduce your stress. So maybe you can't dedicate a whole bunch of time to it, but you could take that 5 minutes to find that relief. Now we're going to talk about smart supplementation. So sometimes we don't necessarily feel like supplements can make a difference, but these truly can. When it comes to another thing that we can do within our 5-minute regimen, this could probably take us just 2 minutes and we could be done and move on to something else. But using supplements can give us the fuel that we need to conquer any day, regardless of how stressful it may be. And so these are going to give us just an extra boost that we may need. So again, there are many benefits to these products, but we're just focusing on how we can use them to stress less this year. So VMG is giving us foundational wellness, no matter what our need may be. So think of it like building a new home. It doesn't matter how big the house is. If you don't have the proper foundation, it's not going to be able to stand. So VMG is going to give us the energy that we need so we can manage all the things. VMG stands for vitamins, minerals, and greens. So this just came out in October. We did have the Lifelong Vitality before. That product alone was one of the reasons why I decided to start being a consultant with doTERRA. But the VMG is even better. It's bioavailable. You can take it as a liquid, so it's just powder that you add to a cold beverage, and it can give you the fuel that you need. And there's some very ongoing studies, but some very good clinical research showing already how long the VMG lasts in our body. So when our cells, even hours after taking it, when our cells need a vitamin, they're able to retrieve it from the VMG. So I'm a huge fan of that. Next, we have Adaptive. So we talked about the oil, but now we have the capsules, and they are a dietary supplement that combines the essential oil with the benefits of ingredients like ashwagandha and GABA. So these components are designed to support a healthy response to stress. So when used internally with the capsules, it can help our emotional well-being, particularly when we're dealing with stress and anxious feelings. So adaptive capsules, definitely something that a lot of us keep in our purses or keep by our bedsides or have before bed. And it's just a great complementary approach to managing your stress and also enhancing your emotional balance. Copaiba is the next one pictured, and copaiba resin has been used orally for centuries. It's been used to support our cardiovascular, our immune, our digestive, and our nervous system. So it's going to help to calm and to soothe us and support that nervous system. The thing about copaiba is it has a primary chemical constituent that's called beta-caryophyllene. Um, excuse me. When beta-caryophyllene helps to ease digestive discomfort, again, along with that, our nervous system. So if you ever stress and you feel it in your tummy, this is going to help. So something to keep with you. It definitely gives you chill vibes. I know I used to take a copaiba and an adaptive at night since I am an anxious sleeper. And I sleep well when I do that combination consistently. And then finally, we have our Serenity. Now, these are new, improved Serenity Restful Complex Soft Gels. And they redid these. It's probably been a little bit over a year. They had them before, but these are so much better. And I can feel a difference with the new blends. And it does include tart cherry. So additional research is needed, but in the preliminary studies, it suggests that tart cherry is a natural source of melatonin, which makes it easier for you to fall asleep faster, to stay asleep longer, and improve the quality of your sleep. So clinical and experimental research indicates that ingesting the Serenity soft gels, and they have lavender in them, also helps to calm the nervous system and encourages healthy relaxation. And that's because of the L-theanine, I hope I'm saying that right, which is used to help lower your stress. It also helps to increase your concentration of GABA in the brain. And all of this supports a more restful and relaxing sleep. Okay. So again, we talked about good sleep. So definitely 4 products that I would recommend, and together very powerful to help us as we manage our stress, go about our activities, and also have the energy to do all the things that we need to do. All right, so next we have mindfulness and meditation. Do you ever feel like you just don't have a second to stop and breathe and think and to be in the moment? Taking that time can be very helpful when it comes to stress. So incorporating mindfulness and meditation can just transform your mental space. So one simple technique is called 5-4-3-2-1. It's a grounding exercise where you focus on your surroundings. And while you're doing that, you're going to identify 5 things that you see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And hopefully it's a good taste. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So this technique can look different for all of us. And so you're going to, again, need to find what is going to work best for you. But that is something that just puts our mind in a better space. So it could be walking, reading a book, enjoying nature, just to name a few things that can help you to be more mindful. And lastly, you got to make a plan. So if we're going to, like anything, if we're going to stick to it, we need to write it down. So what does your personalized stress less plan look like? So think about it for a second. So for you, it may be, let me make sure I'm fueling my body with supplements. I'm going to take 5 minutes a day to journal. Uh-oh, sorry. Uh-oh. Can y'all see that? Okay, I hope not. 5 minutes a day to journal, do some deep breathing to help you stress, and then maybe keep your oils on you. So that can be something that can be helpful. For someone else, they may say, you know what, I'm going to do a 5 minute walk around the block, and that's going to be helpful to me. So I just encourage you to create a personalized stress relief plan. Think about the techniques that resonate most with you, and then write them down. And if you need to, pull them out so you can remember what they were. And of course, you can always use your essential oils that fit your lifestyle and decide what's going to work best. Okay. All right. So if we could only transport ourselves to wherever this picture is, that would be great. But until the time comes, I just want to thank you all so much for coming, especially with the change in our Zoom location. Apologies to anyone who missed it, but hopefully, if you didn't catch it live, you can catch the recording. We really do hope that these tips empower you to manage your stress because your body needs it. And then feel free, if you have any questions about any of the products that I spoke of today, you're welcome to reach out to the person who invited you. And they certainly can discuss what may work best for your plan. And if you really feel inspired, then make your 5 minute plan and then share it with a friend. So then when you're stressed, maybe they can remind you, hey, girl, look at your sticky note. What does it say? Just so we can all, again, try to stress less this year, okay? All right, so I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask.
Great job. Great
Thank
job.
you, Melanie. That was awesome.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you.
Very informative.
Melanie, this is Teresa. Hi.
Hey, Teresa.
Can you read back the five,
Yes,
4, 3, 2,
ma'am.
1 more time? 5 things you could see, 4 things you could touch. What was 3 and 2?
3, hold on, let me find my notes. Hold on one sec. I'm glad you made it, Teresa.
I'm glad I made it. That was very powerful information. I'm taking my notes.
I got quite a bit also from the Watchtower on the
Gotcha.
away.
Nice.
So that was
Nice.
good.